Hi, what's your name?
Jessica Weeks.
And Jessica, how long have you served on the PFAC board?
About 2 years.
The first question is, why is it important for practices to engage patients?
Well, I think that the patients see a very different side of the practice from what the providers see working there on a day-to-day basis, and the PFAC really gives us an opportunity to get together and be able to share both of our experiences so that patients have a better appreciation for what their staff and what their providers do, but then also providers can find out what really matters to their patients rather than just assuming.
Okay, great. What do you personally take away from your experience on the PFAC, and why would you tell other patients to get involved?
I think personally, it's helped me take a greater ownership in my own medical care because I value what happens at our practice. I feel like I'm better educated just about how to get the most out of the services that are provided. I think if I were to recommend somebody else join, it would be, a lot for the same reasons, or, people like to complain a lot, but they never do anything about it. And this is a way that if you have issues, you really can get them addressed.
Jessica, what are some of the challenges your group has had to work through, and what lessons learned would you share with others?
One of the things we've really worked on is how the interface between the office and the patients works as far as phones and front desk and appointment times and scheduling. And I think we've been able to really break it down into what the struggles are for the office, what the struggles are for the patients, and find ways to start implementing some changes that have improved care quite a lot. And we're constantly working on those. We're looking at our social media, at our website. How can we make those better to better serve our patients? And I think the overwhelming feedback is that those things are making a big difference.
I'm Barbara Pearson-Sawyer.
And how long have you served on First Street Family Health's PFAC?
Both my husband and I are on the PFAC board, and we've been here since the inception, so almost 2 years.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Why is it important for practices to engage patients, do you think?
Well, I think it's important for the practice to get a perspective of the experiences that patients have. It's hard to tell what that is, and as a patient and then sitting on the board, we can share the perspective of our experience as we go into the practice for our needs. And I think that's very important because there's no way you would know that perspective unless you asked. And that's, I think, one of the main reasons that this whole thing exists.
How do you let other community members know about the work that your PFAC is doing?
Oh, well, in other community organizations that I'm involved in, the subject can come up ways to be involved. And so I do mention that I sit on this particular one and how it's helping the community as a whole to learn about how we can help with a practice and what the community needs are. So so I do share, and I share within my own firm because we hold the meeting here. So people here were very surprised about what we were doing, very interested. So it is an interesting topic, and I think people are interested about it. So it is something I think it's great to share.
Barbara, what do you personally take away from your experience serving on the PFAC, and why would you tell other patients to get involved?
Well, I think to ask other people to get involved is, they have a chance to voice, their perspective and what their experiences are. I think that's really important. I think you realize when you sit on this board how similar it is to other businesses that, a practice that is also a business, and the same things come up, like website, like front desk personalities, like how do we move patients through, how do we get them through quicker, how can we improve our practice, which is a business, just like any other business. So the commonality that's there. So when you have people on the board that are also have other business experiences, that can be shared, how they're similar and how you've addressed those additional, those same types of problems, maybe a totally different business, but it can be applied to a medical practice. Any business where you deal with people, you're going to have the same sorts of issues, and that's what I think we learn on the board, and it's a great place to share all of those experiences so that everybody can, improve.
What are some of the challenges that your group has had to work through, and what lessons have you learned would you share with the others?
Okay, so as far as challenges, I think just moving through the various issues and putting priorities on the things that really can make a difference in the practice. I think one of the best things that we did was when we went to visit the office, and we got to walk around with the doctors and the nurses, kind of see how the organization actually worked. And I think that was very helpful, where we could really see the day-to-day challenges that you deal with rather than sitting around a table and discussing them. So that was an excellent practice. So as far as challenges, again, I think it's similar to other businesses. Everybody has them. Everybody goes through, if you're in a business, you go through growing pains, and there's always similar issues that we discuss. And sometimes we have to discuss the same things over and over at the meetings, but there's progress. That we have actually seen progress of improvements that are going on within the practice itself.